When you visit a SharePoint site, you don't necessarily see every single piece of the site when you look on the Quick Launch, because the person who develops the site can make choices about whether or not particular libraries or lists are available over here on the Quick Launch. This is prime real estate here. So if I have 15 or 20 different apps, 15 or 20 different lists or libraries or pieces of information in my site, I don't necessarily want all of them to appear on the Quick Launch, only the ones that you need to get to on a regular basis, because there are other ways I can provide navigation. And I might have libraries and lists that I actually don't want to have exposed so that people would go and open them. Perhaps I have a list of information that's used within the site itself, and there's no need for normal users to go in and to modify it. That's something that the site owner would do. So in that case, I won't put it on the Quick Launch either. So how do I get to the things that aren't on the Quick Launch? Well, that's where the Site Contents link comes in. When you click Site Contents, SharePoint opens a list of all of the items that are on the site. So at the top, we have all of the apps, lists, libraries, and other apps. And we can see that we are using 8 apps in this site right now. Here's our Documents library, our events list. We have some form templates. This is simply an empty library. It has no items in it. We have a microfeed. That's information that's coming out of the social networking area, and there are 2 items in it. One of them got there a half an hour ago. We have Newsflash, our announcements list. Site Assets. This is a library that's created by SharePoint whenever I upload an icon or a logo or an image for use in the site. For example, that library was actually created because I uploaded this logo for No Obstacles. As soon as a site is created, there needs to be a place where the pages can be stored. And finally, there's a style library that's assigned to the site that keeps track of things like what the site colors are, where the navigation lives, and so on. So these are some of our site contents, lists, libraries, and other apps. But within a site, I can also have a sub-site, also called a child site. And that's part of the navigation of the site as well, this site hierarchy that says within Inside No Obstacles, we're going to create 2 sites for right now, one for each of the 2 divisions of this company. So No Obstacles has a sport division and a home division. This is the sub-site for the sport division. Later on, you and I will create the sub-site for the home division. And here is that sub-site Inside Sport right here that you saw earlier. There are a couple of other features of the site contents area that I'd like to point out before we leave. One is that you can create workflows and assign them to a site. And that's where you would see them. You can actually click on Site Workflows and see a list of workflows that are assigned here. We have no workflows right now, but if we did, we could come into here to start a workflow. We'll return to Site Contents. There are also some settings that are specific to this particular site, and this is one way to get to them. So this is where we have everything ranging from permissions to how search works to what the name of the site should be and what this logo is. All of this information that's about the site is here in Site Settings. And we get to that link in Site Contents. And finally, there's a recycle bin. So if I delete something from this site, this is where it goes. There's not a separate recycle bin for each library or each list, but there's simply one recycle bin. Just like on your computer, you don't get a different recycle bin for each drive. You actually have one recycle bin for the entire computer. Now, you may not see a Site Workflows link or a settings link because you may not have permission to be able to change settings, but this is what the entire Site Contents area looks like. So if I want to know if there's something in a site and I don't see it on the Quick Launch, I wonder, for example, is it possible that on this site, as well as having documents, that we have some kind of a calendar that I'm not aware of? I'm always going to click on Site Contents to be able to come and take a look and see what the actual contents of the site are. This is also where I'll go when I want to add to the site contents by adding extra apps or extra subsites to my site.